Check out this super cool picture of me and this camel. Super cool, right? So this picture was taken in Israel when I was on birthright. Birthright. Because it is the right of birth for all Jews, any Jews across the world, to get a 10-day vacation to Israel. And the reason we get this vacation is because they want us to move there. They want us to make aliyah. And there's this thing called the law of return, which says any Jew gets automatic citizenship to Israel. It is my birthright. It is my right of birth. But my question is, why does a kid from New Jersey with no recent ancestors from that region have more of a right to be there and live there than Palestinians who have lived there for centuries? Is that a democracy or just another ethno-state in the Middle East?
This TikToker has pointed out something that's absolutely important for people to understand. You see, the government of Israel today has a large range of propaganda programs, and this is one of them. One of the central ideas is to normalize the policies of Israel by offering people around the world an opportunity to visit and the potentiality to move there. And it has the same underlying reason why they force everybody into military service as well. Because what currently is happening is Israel is an apartheid state, where the Palestinian people are denied the freedom of movement, and the IDF continues to move into their territory and use military force for the government to set up settlements. And this apartheid regime is working overtime to maintain normal relations with the rest of the world. And the reason they do that is very simple. Just like every other country today, Israel relies on international trade in order to make their economy run. And because of that fact, they need people in the general public around the world outside of their country to think that everything that's going on within Israel today is a perfectly normal thing. But the reality is that it isn't. Palestinians are denied basic rights, and the extreme violence has led to Palestine being one of the youngest communities on earth because so many of the adults have been killed in warfare. And a lot of people try to present this as a both sides issue, but the ultimate reality is there's one side that has superior military firepower, and then there's the other side that has experienced extreme mass civilian casualties. The two players are not on an equal playing field. And the Iron Dome system in Israel does a very effective job of preventing any type of mass death as a result of conflict. And I want to make this very clear. The bombs that are made in Palestine are made from recycled parts from the bombs that have already exploded that have come from Israel. Literally, Israel could deprive Palestine of bombs by simply stopping bombing them. Palestine would run out of bombs because they wouldn't have material from the shattered bombs that are being sent from Israel. And the part about this that's the absolutely most frustrating is what the Palestinian people are calling for, by and large, is just a multi-ethnic democracy. That is what they're calling for. That is what the people want. They want real elected representatives. They want to live in a country where they're treated as equals. They want an end to this apartheid regime. But as long as people in the Western world are willing to normalize the apartheid system in Israel, Israel has no incentive to stop their illegal settlements in Palestine. So when this TikToker points out the right to return that Jewish folks around the world have, which is something I think everybody should have. I think everybody should have a universal freedom of movement. I think human beings should be able to choose where they live on this planet, and they should be able to choose to visit places that they want to. And so when he talks about the ability to go to Israel for 10 days, I can't help but think about the people in Palestine who are not allowed to leave, who are not allowed access to their traditional fishing waters. This is Ben Carollo with Rebel Headquarters. You can catch my show Galaxy Brain on the Young Turks Twitch channel every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with my content.